Hello friends, welcome to my channel Explore with Joyeeta.
Long time ago, in India near the city of Ujjain lived a king who had a beautiful and learned daughter, Vidyottama. Princess Vidyottama was a beautiful, exceptionally talented, learned, and wonderful woman. She was trained in arts, literature, music, dance, and debates, and was a scholar of the scriptures. The princess was very proud of her learning. She would often put down the wise men in the king's court. When the time came for her marriage, she declared she would choose her husband in a swayamvar from amongst the wisest men. The one who would answer all her questions in the debate of the scriptures would be her fated husband. Hearing this, the wisest and the most learned men from different regions of the country either came to marry the princess or to witness the greatest scholar who would get the honor to marry her. But Vidyottama defeated all of them and simultaneously insulted their knowledge and intelligence in front of everyone. As she kept winning, her arrogance grew and the insults became even more humiliating. It came to such a point that she even defeated her teacher, Guru Vararuchi, in a debate. The insults and humiliation were too much for many scholars, including Vararuchi. They started to dislike her even though they were afraid to show it outwardly. They planned to seek revenge by cheating and slyly getting Vidyottama married to the biggest idiot in the country. They went in search of such a man. One day they were walking by the forest and saw a very unusual sight. A handsome young man was sitting on the tip of one of the upper branches and trying to chop off the branch from its base, in a way that he would fall with it when the branch should fully cut off. They continued to witness it till the man fell. The scholars were sure that this most certainly was the most foolish person and decided to get him married to Vidyottama. This man was none other than Kalidasa. The scholars dressed Kalidasa in the most lavish clothes and jewelry and told him that he would get married to a princess. The condition was that under no circumstances would he speak or his foolishness would be revealed. Kalidasa agreed. The wise men brought the marriage proposal to the king. They also mentioned that Kalidasa was a very learned man who was on a month-long Maun Vrat, the vow of silence. It was considered that Maun Vrat brought purity of mind and speech and was practiced by many sages in those days. The king was impressed by the beauty of the young man and the praises from the wise men of his court. However, Vidyottama was not going to be satisfied before she tested his learning herself. A debate was arranged where Vidyottama and Kalidasa would only communicate through gestures. Vidyottama raised her index finger. She meant to say that God was the one and supreme. In his foolishness, Kalidasa mistook this as her saying that she would poke one of his eyes with her finger. So he raised two fingers to counter her attack, insinuating that he would poke both her eyes. Next, she raised her palm, all five fingers open. She wanted to say that the five elements of nature constitute and control the mind and the body. Kalidasa once again mistook it as a sign of attack. He assumed that Vidyottama wanted to slap him. So he raised a fist to say that if he was slapped, he would punch her. This time, Vidyottama thought it to mean that when the elements come together and work as one group, so do they control the body's functioning and senses. Vidyottama was highly impressed and the king was assured that Kalidasa was indeed the wisest scholar and was the perfect match for Vidyottama. The two were promptly married. It was a joyous affair and the other scholars were overjoyed that Vidyottama was marrying a fool. During their wedding night, there was a camel growling outside. When the princess asked her husband, "What is that?" she expected a wise reply. but Kalidasa stammered to say the word Ushtra for camel in Sanskrit. The princess understood that Kalidasa was no learned man but a fool. Vidyottama was angry and felt humiliated. She immediately banished Kalidasa, renouncing him and telling him to only come back when he was a scholar. It was only after this incident that Kalidasa realized his foolishness and repented. He locked himself in the goddess Kali's temple and begged her to open the doors of knowledge and wisdom to him. Once his wish was granted, Kalidasa ventured far and wide as far as Kashi to improve his knowledge and gain wisdom. When he returned home after attaining knowledge, he knocked on the door and said, Kapatam, which means open the door, beautiful. She was surprised and thought that some scholar had come. When she opened the door, she saw that it was her husband, Kalidasa. The world remembers Kalidasa as the famed, learned, and knowledgeable author, poet, and playwright of the classical Sanskrit language. He became one of the greatest Sanskrit poets of all times and one of the 9 jewels of the court of King Vikramaditya. He is known to be familiar with Greek astronomy and has used a few Greek terms in his work. The Vedas, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and the Puranas are the main sources for his plays and poems. While he is credited with over 40 works, only 3 plays, 2 epic poems, and 2 shorter poems are all that are left of his writings. Kalidasa's contribution to Indian literature is tremendous. Though his writings were in Sanskrit, they have been translated into numerous languages. While numerous writings have been attributed to him, only 7 works are proved to be genuinely his. Malavika Agnimrita, Vikramorvashya, Abhignana Shakuntala are the most famous literary works of Kalidasa. Of these plays, Kalidasa is best known for the play Shakuntala, which has gone on to receive worldwide attention. Shakuntala was first translated into English, then into German, and then into several other Western languages. The other 4 works were poems.
So friends, this was my video today. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you want to get more videos like this, subscribe to my channel and don't forget to like and share. Thank you. Bye bye.